And now you're listening to the Three Mamas podcast. Just three millennial mamas doing ministry, asking real questions and having real conversations.
Welcome to Three Mamas. It is episode 8 here, and we're ready for a birthday party!
Surprise!
We're talking about all things birthday in today's episode. I feel like the low-key mama traumas of birthday parties, of gifts, of everything. So, I'm going to throw out this question to start. Let's start on the shallow side of the pool, dip a toe, and then work our way in. What are some of the things that you love to receive for your kids, and what are some of the things that you're like, heck no, it won't go?
Okay. So I guess my kids are a little older, so I'll go first because I've done a couple birthdays. We're about to have 10 birthday parties. Experience. So I will say I do like when a parent or a family member asks me first what they need in that season. Because sometimes, like, toys aren't everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, so my kids, like, if they're going to Disney World, okay, for example, like, give us Disney gift cards, you know? So that when they go there, they can, like, buy whatever they see, or stuff like that. Or, like, my daughter loves there was a season where she really loved American Girl. But American Girl things are pricey. But if you got a couple gift cards, you could buy, like, some good stuff. Right. Or, like, doll clothes. So, like, I think, like, number one would be, like, I try to do that with my friends, and I like that courtesy back of like, what's your kid like in that season? I will also say like personalized things, where like you took like the time. Like my friend for my kid's first birthday was Dr. Seuss, and she got them like the happy birthday like Dr. Seuss book, but it was like with their names in it, and like they still have that. So I don't know, like things like that, or like at Jonah's baby shower, someone knitted a blanket for him. Like those things like that mean a lot to me. Like I love those type of things. And then I would say, like, the last thing that I really, really, really like is, like, basic things. Like, give my kids underwear and, like, socks. No, I know it sounds frivolous, but, like, and I know not from everybody you can receive that, but, like, grandparents and things like that. Like, my kids outgrow pajamas a lot. Like, sometimes it's not just always toys. Like, maybe some PJs, maybe some socks, like, you know, a pair of slippers. Like, those things that they're constantly, like, using, like, it doesn't hurt for, like, on your birthday to get things like that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Like those little things, that the underwear or the pajamas, because when you have a growing child, it's like goodness, we just bought this and now you're in 40. Okay. So for me, I am that person that does not mind you getting my kid like a pair of socks or like cute, you know, little jammies. And another thing, I'm that mom, I'm going to say it because I'm a book lover, but I love when people get Jackson books, and if they're personalized, like that's something that's cute. For me, it's like, oh, he can hold on to this forever. And right now, like we have a book lover, and I'm okay with that. Like he loves to, like the other day, he like grabbed a book before we walked out the door to go to school, and I'm like, oh, he's going to look at the pictures in the car. It's so awesome. Like, I'm so proud. So for me, I love things like that. Like I'm not going to say, like, you better not buy it. But, like, if someone buys my child, like, something that's going to make a lot of noise, I'm like, oh, gosh, okay. Or something that needs batteries, and then they open it, and they're like, it's not working.
Get batteries with toys.
Right? I have an aunt who does that. I have an aunt, she will stick a bow on the battery, or, like, tape it to the whatever toy it is, and I like, so appreciate her for that. But if it makes a lot of noise, just know, like, it's a lot, and I am very thankful for the gift, but man, am I, like, really deep down inside, but that's what does it for me.
So my son is 1, so I think Christmas was our heavy hitter, more so than the first birthday. Because first birthday, I think, so on my husband's side, he's the only grandkid, so 100% gets spoiled like to the nines. Where on my side, he's like the fifth. It's not going to be the same. But we get so much clothes, but I appreciate that because same, like even if it's, I'll be honest, if it's clothes I don't necessarily like for him, like, oh, I wouldn't dress my kid like that, it becomes his play clothes, and I'm totally okay with that. But getting either ginormous presents that we live in a small townhouse, my downstairs already is Liam's whole room. Like, he can't take any more space. Or just like the same gift in so many different versions. It's just like, we don't need 5 of the same ride-along toys. We don't need 52 blocks. Like, we're okay.
Yeah, like Legos are banned at my house. Like, don't ever give my kid Legos or puzzle pieces. Like, here's the thing, I love puzzles. Yeah. But don't give me like a 1,000-piece puzzle. Yeah. It's gonna go everywhere. And that irks
You're never gonna see the puzzle again.
And I'm also really weird with clothes. Because I dress my kids very, like, differently. Stylize them. So I don't really like to receive clothes unless it's, like, very neutral things. Yeah.
I'm with you on the Legos, though. I'm starting to be a believer in that because if I step on another Lego piece, I will scream.
And they're expensive.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
So expensive.
For like a little box is like $20, and like the really big ones, they could even be like $400. Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but that's expensive.
And they become really great chew toys for your dog, so it's really not good to do that. No, at all. So, I'm starting to be on that no Legos bandwagon or whatever.
I blame YouTube for like making the kids watch those videos of them unboxing things.
Yeah. Oh Lord, if I have to see another kid playing with the toy and Jackson's like, I need that. You do not need that. You don't need it.
Okay, so here's maybe a little triggering of a question. Has your kids in the birthday vein had an interest that maybe is like odd or like it's not trending, but they're like, I want this thing as a gift or as a party theme or something, and then like as a good mom you're like, okay, that's gonna be the birthday theme, but how the heck do I make this thing happen?
My kids wanted a Dunkin' Donuts birthday theme.
Okay, I appreciate your children for that.
Because they're so obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I think it was 2 Christmas ago, it was like they asked on their like Christmas list for Dunkin' Donuts gift cards.
I love it.
And so it's not like a weird thing, but I'm sorry, no 8-year-old should be asking for coffee. Like,
that's so cute.
And then if you ask them what they're spending their money on, like Munchkins and bagels, like, you can buy that anywhere. But they had such an infatuation with Dunkin' Donuts. They still have such an infatuation with Dunkin' Donuts. So they wanted a Dunkin' Donuts themed birthday. End of story, we didn't end up doing it because it was like really pulling a theme out of like, where do you buy party gifts from?
Like Etsy doesn't even have that yet.
No, and so like we ended up doing something else, but I was really like, how am I supposed to do Dunkin' Donuts?
Stress it out, like what?
And I think the other thing is, so my daughter, she's 9, and she really still is into dolls. Yeah. And you would think, like, when I was 9, I still played with Barbies, but in this generation of things, that's kind of odd. Like, there's 9-year-olds on TikTok, like, half her class is on TikTok. Yeah. And she's still playing with, like, American Girl dolls. So, like, I feel like there was a season of, like, well, I think it's okay, but, like, do the kids around her think it's okay to, like, play with dolls and stuff? And, like, I want to keep my kid a kid as long as possible, but where's the line of, like, okay, is this... Like, are you too grown for this? Are you not? I don't personally think she is yet, but I don't also want someone else to make her feel uncomfortable because that's her interest.
Yeah. Social norms for children have definitely changed.
I know.
With the introduction of cell phones.
And it's hard to, like, navigate that a bit. Like, just kind of figure out, because when does it become, like, not cool for her? Like, that moment. And then, like, having that, like, because, like you said, like, I was 9, like, I was still... talking to my dolls, like, my little doll.
I think, like, when I was in 5th grade, like, Bratz was, like, a ginormous thing, and I had Brat dolls.
Do you guys remember the other Big Head dolls? They had, like, all of the season names. Please tell me you remember.
My scene?
No, they had big heads.
There's too many.
So I will say, Bratz wasn't, like, well, I'm from 1990. Not that I'm that much older than you guys, but it kind of hit my sister, not so much me. for me, I think it was really true the season of Barbie doll, like mansion and ship pool.
Barbie dream house.
And convertible.
And I actually had a Barbie Mustang. It was wonderful.
Really, I had like a 4Runner, like a Jeep, like it was super cute.
I don't know. I think we had a limo.
Yeah, like Hurricane Beam.
So it was 4 of us. So we all had our dolls. So we put them together, and there were like tons of dolls. And then when we went through that season of like, that's not cool anymore, my baby sister, she took over the dolls, and I'm traumatized. She cut off all their hair, and then she would cut off their clothes and like wrap tissue around them and make them. She was trying to be a fashion designer.
That's so cute.
But now that you're like talking about, your daughter and how it just brought me back to that moment, and it's like nostalgic because
so
it's like
funny note, like my dad, he never bought me a white Barbie doll. I know that sounds so weird, but he was like, you're a Hispanic kid.
You had Teresa.
I had Teresa, and then then they had like friends. Then they started coming out with like a black one, and they had a Spanish one. Yeah. But like that was like one of my desires to have like the blonde Barbie, because I never I don't know where he got all. I got a Puerto Rican Barbie doll.
Right.
Like her like traditional clothes.
Yeah, like her traditional clothing. So like he always tried to make it a way for me to have dolls that kind of looked like me. Right. But I desired just like regular Barbie.
I feel like that's very progressive for your father. Yeah. Like that's pretty cool.
Very. So what about you guys? So like I guess triggering anything with your kids yet, or no?
So kind of switching gears a little bit. I just celebrated my first birthday.
Hello, we're live.
Of Liam Ryan Osuna, who is creepy crawling on his way over here. And so, guys, this is my first time doing a birthday. Like, this is my first everything. And I have to say, I feel like, what was Father's Day? Because he is a June baby. It's the same weekend of Father's Day. So I feel so bad to all the dads, including my husband. And it was a little traumatic because we planned this. Okay, it was supposed to not be a birthday party. Then my sister was like, oh my gosh, you're not giving my nephew a party. Like, it turned into this whole thing. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do a party with just family. Just family and, like, my chosen family.
Right.
And we wanted to do an outdoor movie night, and then it poured on us after we, like, set up everything. Liam got sick that weekend. It was traumatic. So tell me a little bit about how you guys
I'm gonna
have
pause
birthdays.
for a second, and my daughter's gonna come and get Liam because
he wanted to talk about
all
his
the kids wanted to be in this episode. Like I said, we're moms.
This is a kids episode.
Not yet.
I'm happy to be on Three Mamas.
Thank you. Guys.
This is sponsored by Mia.
We're not gonna cut this out. You guys.
It's our 15 minutes.
It's their 15 minutes.
So that happened. But yeah, my June birthday was pretty traumatic. No, it really wasn't. Okay. It was because I think Liam was sick, and so that was the first time he was genuinely sick. Right. So we were like so hopeful and holding out to the last second, like, we're gonna do this party, where I was telling Trevor the other day, he had like a 1-day fever, and like it brought me back where I was like, man, I felt so bad because that was the first time he was truly sick, and we didn't even take care of him. Like, Trevor's mom took care of him, so it was like, in all of our trying to do good, it was just became all consuming that it was like, did it even really matter anymore? Like, we had to switch one thing for the other. So birthdays are stressful, to say the least.
First of all, first birthdays are for the parents and not for the children.
I feel like they're for like the grandparents.
Yes.
Case.
Not in my family. My mom is not a birthday person. Like, she will give you an awesome gift, but like she won't do birthday parties because she's like very practical. Like, as we got older, like we went to the store with her and she's like, you want those shoes for your birthday? I'm gonna buy them for you. That's your gift. Happy birthday. Like, you know what I mean? Enjoy. Right. Like, that's what you want for Christmas? I'll wrap it up. Act like you didn't see it. I'm like, but you just bought it in front of me. Like, she's very practical. I think we only had celebrations for my dad because my dad, like, even till this day, like, different holiday, but he still gets me a Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah,
like, and
I'm
31, so like he just loves to celebrate. So like I don't know if that's like because he's a little more Americanized or something, but like I don't know. But I will say, like, for my kid's first birthday, I was very practical with them, and like I even said, like, for Jonah, because his first birthday is coming up, I'm like, I think this is really for us
Yeah.
to like get around, and like people love my kid, so I know they also want to celebrate
Right.
and stuff, but like he will not remember
No.
the bounce house
No.
or like the things you go to do for it.
This is gonna sound so like maybe bad, but like so Jackson's first birthday came during COVID time. I'm actually not saying no, but
You're like, it was a
Blessing.
no, because I can be socially awkward, or like in certain situations I'm like, oh, I'm staying in this corner. But when it's you, like my baby shower, guys, I was like so nervous, and I don't know why. But for his first birthday, it was during COVID, so we had to be creative, and we did a drive-through birthday party, and it was the cutest thing, and it was like so exciting. So it was like super hot because we have a summer baby, and we were like sweating, but like, so he of course like had to go inside my mother-in-law a couple of times, but like me and Shane were out there receiving the gifts, the honking. My father-in-law like put up this big like tent, and it was so like, I feel like it was like stress-free. Like we still had like a cake with like immediate family, but like I don't know why, but it was like the best party I've ever like been to or thrown. And then came his second birthday, and so like I was like, I looked at Shane, I was like, we have to challenge ourselves, like this needs to be big, because he couldn't have a big one for his first birthday. And then it was very stressful. Luckily, like his god sister, she owns, you know, a big, you know, like events. She's an event planner, so she like did a lot of it. She like did all of it, so it was like less stressful. But then this previous birthday was very like, that's a triggering one for me, because I wanted to do, of course I wanted to do it just like you, all family, just kind of like keeping it just simple. And my family, they live in, I feel like I'm gonna cry. My family, they live, because it's so new, it's fresh. They live in other parts of Florida, or they live like further from where we are. So, you know, you have to let them know in advance, ahead of time, and then you do, but then like things come up, of course, you know, like this person had an emergency, and this person just started a new job, or school just started, because Jackson's birthday falls around that weird time of school starting. So we had like a lot of my family cancel. And for me, I feel that it's very important, like Shane and I, even before we had kids, like this was something like, it's very important for our children to know like both sides of their family, just because of our dynamic, you know, like we're in an interracial marriage, so we want our kids to see both of their families coming together, because we do come from great families that support and love us. We used to always get asked that question, by the way, like, how do your families take it? And it's like, they're great. But anyway, so like having my family there, even though they're not in the same state as us, it's like a big deal. And then you have those people that are there at the party, and they're like, well, where is your mom, or where is your dad? And like in the back of their mind, they're probably like, oh, do they not, like, you know, but it's like, no, they just couldn't make it. Right. You know, the circumstances surrounding it just didn't work out that way. Like my parents were just there like 2 weeks before. Then my grandmother, she's like all about birthdays, like for her great grands, and it's like something came up. So my family not being there, it was like very hard on me. And then trying to do all this, and like last minute it was like, oh, okay, I gotta make sure we have this. And like, so this is gonna sound so sad, but I laugh at it now. I like got all of these like goodie bags together, and like I knew that we wouldn't have that many people, but Shane's like, babe, you don't really need to do that many. But I was like, well, I still want to do it, but I didn't have to. And then like the day of the party, I was like stressing, and I was like, I had gotten to a point where I was like, why am I stressing about this when it's just going to be family? And family came, and they were like, what do you need us to do? Like, even though it was just them, they were like, what do you need us to do to make this a special day? And then I felt bad, because I look at Jax, and it's like, he just had the time of his life, and he could care less of who was there and who wasn't there. But I think it's on us, because we're the ones that like, we remember, we look at the pictures, or we, you know, like, oh, we feel so bad for our kids. Meanwhile, our kids are like living their best life. We're like, we gotta put up this sign, and this cake has to look like this, and they're like, is it good? Like, cake, nice. So for me, that was like, so his third birthday, and like Shane and I were like, maybe fourth birthday, let's just all three go to Disney.
So I learned that like hard on. So my kid was we did a first birthday with Park family. It was really nice. And then when they turned 2, we did like a family trip to Disney World, and it was wonderful. Like, it was great. Like, we had a dining package. Like, it was just wonderful. 3 rolls around, we did something at home. It was great. 4 comes, and that's what triggered me to like kind of never have a birthday party again. Because so my husband, love him, took my daughter to go pick out a birthday cake. So here's the thing with twins, and not same-sex twins. He wanted a Super Mario birthday, and she wanted a My Little Pony birthday. So what I did was we had it at a park, and I like split the pavilion down the middle, and it was like My Little Pony to one side, like Super Mario. So like we went to the bakery to get our cake, and the lady split the cake in half. Like so it was like half one side, Little Pony, whatever. But Mia did not enjoy her party at all because she was staring at the cake the whole time. And so my kids they've never really been cake eaters, but I think because she picked out the cake, like she was just so excited about her cake. And so like my mom, like, and I wanted to do everything like by the book. Like we have to eat first, we have to do all these things first, and then we'll do the cake. So my mom's like, just cut the cake. Like she just wants the cake. Yeah. So whatever, we broke from the thing because she just sat there the whole time and stared at her cake. We cut the cake, I gave her a piece, and she's still, like, not happy. Can I tell you guys what? She just wanted the candle that was a pony on the cake. And I was like, Mia, why you didn't say that? I would have just given you the candle, and then you would have enjoyed your party. And she's like, oh, I just wanted, like, Pinkie Pie? It was the pony. I just wanted Pinkie Pie. And I was like, really?
Can I say she was very disciplined, though, for not just giving that kid candle?
Staring at it. She just stared at it. And so my mom just gave me a look of, like, really? Like, and then she got the candle and then enjoyed maybe, like, the last half of her birthday. So from there, I was just like, maybe like all of this is not worth it. But then I did it to myself again because they turned 5, and like 5 is a big number. They're in kindergarten. Right. We invited the whole kindergarten, and we did a Cinco de Mayo Coco theme. We had mariachis, a bounce house. It was great, but it was like exhausting to do it. And so then I said to my husband, "We're done until they turn 10." I'm not doing another party. We'll go on a trip. Like we've been on a Disney cruise. We've gone to Disney California. Like we've done other things because birthday parties are also expensive. Yeah. For even if you want it to be super cheap or affordable, it's still pricey. So if I put the equivalent of what I spent in a birthday party, I'm just gonna go on vacation. I'll be honest. And so that's what we started doing. But then this year, that big double digit is coming, and my kids are like, okay, you have held out since we were 5 on a birthday party. Like, are we getting a birthday party this year? So I was like, I'm still debating on it because I do feel like I gotta celebrate it, and I don't really know what else I could like. I can't really bribe them with another trip. Like, where am I taking them? Alaska? Like, I don't really know, you know. So it has to be really, really good. But like now they ask for it, so now I feel like because you're asking for it, like I feel a sense of obligation to do it. So we're working on that. Because we are having a birthday party for Jonah because I was very hesitant to not do a birthday party. I just wanted to go to Mickey's Merry Christmas because he's born around Christmas, and like because he's not going to remember anything at all. But then I was like, but I did it for the twins. Like I would feel like you know the compensation of a mother of like I cannot not do it for him. And so I said, but this time I know that it's really for the adults in the room, not necessarily for him. So we picked a theme that was more flattering to us than our kid because he's not going to know anything any different. And like just strictly friends and family and like good food and not worry about all these other things that you worried about before.
Okay, so both of you guys said something interesting. Kayla, you talked about your family and birthdays. Fran, you talked about the classroom and the kid invites. So navigating, inviting people to the birthdays. How do you deal with that? I feel like I set my mind that it was just family, but y'all, we have some brave people that will like straight ask you like, "Am I invitation? Where was it?" How do you navigate that? Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, I'm gonna go like so. We're talking about birthdays, but celebrations in general, right?
Yeah.
That was baby showers.
Yes.
I was just thinking.
I remember because I kind of helped throw Sherry's baby shower, and we did it at church. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because we were both staff at the time, but it was really like just supposed to be this small and intimate thing with like some close. Man, you guys, that weekend after, I felt so bad. Like, people were coming up to me like, where was my invite? Like, I also love Sherilyn. Like, da-da-da. I'm like, listen, like, I felt horrible. And I was just like,
surrender the white flags.
So the invites roll over even for
Yeah.
birthday parties
Yeah.
because church people love you.
Yeah.
As well as your family. And then I always say your chosen family, like the people that you choose to be your friends. So then it's like, I wish I could have an all-call invite all these people, but one, like, where am I putting you guys?
100%.
And two,
And who's
like,
paying for this?
and who's paying for this? And so, like, it stinks because, like, you never do it to be not leave somebody out, but it's just the way. So, like, for me, that's kind of where I resolved into, like, not doing anything because I just don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But then am I also taking away from my kids not doing a memory with their friends?
Right.
So it's like a toss-up, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe if I do it, I might be wrong, and if I don't do it, I'm kind of wrong.
Yeah.
I think it, like you said, it's a gray area because it's like, okay, like right now Jackson, like he's 3, so it's like, you know, he's friends, like he's learning and like it's starting. So right now it's at that point of like we can get away with just like cousins and family and just like mommy and daddy, that's okay. But I feel like there is a level of like understanding that people have to have. Like if you're not invited to something, it's okay. Like it doesn't mean that you're not in, like you don't know the circumstances of like, hey, maybe they had a limit or a budget to who they can invite, how many people they can invite. Like it's like a wedding. Like you're looking at your guest list and you're like, oh, okay, well, I have this, we're getting this for food. This is the type of cake we're getting. Are we going to be able to feed these people? That's stressful to think about. So I think people have to be understanding. Yes, it hurts if you look on like social media and you're like,
is a real thing.
Oh my gosh, I think I have FOMO too. But then also I'm like, I'm okay at home. Like, hey, here's your gift. But like, just I feel like we have to be understanding of like people's circumstances and say like, okay, I'm not gonna feel bad if I didn't get an invite, and I'm not gonna like think that I'm not cool or I'm not on the end with them. But just, you know, still love that person or love, you know. It's okay, get them a gift, you know, like, hey, I was thinking of you. Maybe, I know this is going to sound so terrible, maybe it slipped their mind of inviting you or that, you know what I mean? And it's like, don't charge it to their, you know, heart, but like, I just think we have to be understanding.
So, question, does this happen more in the church world than it does in the real world?
Church people are entitled, bro. I don't ever feel like I feel that way. I think Kayla said something that was great. Like, if you love, like, I work in children's ministry, so I love a lot of kids. But just because you watch them on Sundays or you're somewhat part of their lives, do I feel entitled, like, you're going to invite me to your birthday? But because I love them, I will bless them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think there's, like, a release of, like, oh, maybe you do have FOMO, but I love this kid, I want to get him something. So, like, I think still being intentional that it's not about the party, it's about, like, the kid.
Yeah.
You know, like, put your feelings aside. So I think that's one facet. But I will say, church people are entitled, but I think it comes out of a place of just love.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's, like, out of a knee-jerk reaction. I think it's of just, like, well, I love you. I would have liked to be there. I would have brought a gift. I would have, like, ate a popsicle. So, like, they think that because it's happened to me a lot, like, even my baby shower or, like, even simple things of, like, if I invite people over to my home and maybe a post goes up on social media, like, oh, that looked great. Like, I want to do that. And so then, like, you could take offense to it, or you can just be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it was just, it sucks that you have to explain yourself, but you almost have to explain yourself to, like, ease the situation.
Yeah.
We just need to learn to celebrate people, like, whether you're invited to the thing or not, and it should be okay. Like, if it was like, okay, the 3 of us, we do life together, and, like, I throw Liam a party and you guys are not invited, then I would worry. Like, that's a red flag. But if we don't do life, like, if we don't text, at least on a weekly, if we don't have this constant communication, and then you walk in offensive because you didn't come to the birthday or whatever, like, I need you to slow your roll. Because what's going on there?
But there's another side to that. I also feel like I've invited people that are part of my life and not have shown up.
True.
Yeah.
Like, people that I, like, reserved the spot for you at the table, and then I thought maybe you were a vital part of my life, and then, so different to be like, hey, you know what, I can't come, and I give you a heads up, like, you're understanding things like that, but, like, to be like, yeah, I'm coming, and, like,
They don't show.
Oh, last minute something came up, and I understand things come up, but, like, you know, you could have told me. I think that kind of hurts too. Like, I reserve the space of love you to celebrate in my life. and stuff. And so I feel like that is like another side of the coin of like, as a parent, I don't think kids notice.
No.
But parents kind of notice, like, oh, I invited my aunt, she didn't come.
Yeah.
Like,
because that kind of is like a level of hurt. Like that happened to me at like at my baby shower. It's like you're expecting this person to come and then they don't show up, and you are kind of hurt because you're like,
I thought you would have come to celebrate.
Like it's like, well, okay then. Is it weird now?
And you can do it to me, but don't do it to my kids.
True.
Yeah.
Like that's another level. Like I have a little bit tougher exterior, but like don't do it to my kids because Mama Lion is gonna come out and like lose their marbles. So I feel like don't do it to them.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think this episode is going to be a little bit longer than usual just because we have like a level of things that we haven't talked about. So I think we've talked that some of our episodes, we always try to keep it within 30 minutes, but some we have a little bit more to talk about. But I think I'm going to ask this question over here. What about in your childhood, like what did birthdays mean to you? Or was there a standout moment that you like impacted you, or like a really awesome moment that happened that you're like, wow, birthdays are awesome, or birthdays really stink?
I think in childhood I had quite a few birthdays. Growing up, like even older, like my sisters threw me a few birthdays, but there was never any special connections to it. I will be super honest, growing up in Spanish church, my pastora, she would throw like these crazy, ridiculously amazing parties for my best friend, for her son.
She still does, and I watch them on Instagram, and they're amazing, and I want you to be my mom.
Yes, like they're so ridiculously dumb amazing. Like, guys, we all, okay, I say we because I was the 17-year-old that they loved, and that was like their Hannah Montana marching around Bayside in poodle skirts for a 50s party going to the Hard Rock. Like, that was an epic party, and I think that made me fall in love with birthdays, where like, when it's Trevor's birthday, when it's Liam's birthday, like, I just want to celebrate them, and I want it to be established in our house. We celebrate the things, whether it's the birthday, whether it's the small stuff, like, we celebrate life.
Yeah.
So
you raise the bar, right?
Yeah.
When you're a parent, and it's not to like knock parents, like you did a good job,
Right.
but you also see a lot of other things. Like Pinterest is a double-edged sword.
Oh, 100%.
Because you see all these amazing things, and like I want to do all of those things, and maybe you can, maybe you can't.
The worst is a crafty parent. Like, if you're crafty and you see a good Pinterest, you're like, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
At 12 o'clock at night the day before.
Right. Yeah.
And so, so like for me, my mom, like I think I said before, my mom's not a big celebrator of birthdays. Like she's a great gift giver, but she won't go like do birthdays and things. So it wasn't until like I was older that like when I turned 30, I was like, I'm having a birthday party. Like I'm having it. I'm doing it. I'm planning it to what I like to do. Like I'm gonna celebrate. And it was like a drive-through because it was during COVID, but it was fun. It was like I ordered everything that I wanted, and I had like my close friends come by, and so like I took it like into my own hands, and then I try to make sure that like my kids have that. But I also do like, I know like my mom and dad did the best they could given the circumstances they had. For sure. Because I've spoken before, like my parents had like a tumultuous like relationship. So like my mom put a lot of her own like sadness and her own feelings and did whatever she could to celebrate us in that moment. And now as a mom, I understand a lot of those things of like, you know, maybe you're not in the best headspace, but you got to put on this face for your kid.
Yeah. Right.
And so like I applaud my parents and my mom for making those days memorable, and even if it was like in a small way. And I was telling Sherry this like the other day, like I remember, I'm a product of the 90s. I remember it was like 1997, 1998, around there, smiley faces were in like big time, like everywhere. And like Limited 2 was like the coolest thing ever. They used to send you like magazines to your house and stuff, and I remember wanting like a smiley face jumpsuit so bad. But Limited 2 was a little bit pricier back in the day, you know, like $60 for an outfit. That's kind of expensive. Like it's expensive now. It was expensive in the 90s. But that was like the one thing I wanted. But I don't remember, my mom did a good job of shielding her issues. So I didn't know my mom was going through like financial hardships. And so, like, I just remember when I opened that one thing, I was so excited about it, but I didn't see what happened behind the scenes for her to give me that one thing that I wanted. And so as a parent, like, we do these sacrifices, like, oh, your kid wants a Nintendo, they're $400.
Yeah.
Like, my husband's working an extra day to afford you these things. The kids don't see that. They only see that they received the Nintendo on the day of their birthday or on the day of Christmas. And so as a parent now, like, maybe the birthday parties weren't so great, but now I understand what it took her to afford me those things.
And I think what's really hard as millennial parents is the window of comparison. Like, go on Instagram and tell me that you don't find this epic, amazing party. That, like, some of them, I'll look at them and I'll be like, this is dumb ridiculous. Like, this child does not need a $10,000 party. And then some of them I'm like secretly sending to Fran, like, this is epic, like, we have to do this. But it's hard because going back and thinking about it, like, we are children of the 90s, like, our birthday parties, like, if we had them, were not anything crazy. Like, I went to Galaxy one year. I had a McDonald's Play Palace birthday one year.
I had Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. Cool. My husband's obsessed with Chuck E. Cheese because of that.
I love it.
Funscape when that was a thing. But I have to think back, and I know that my parents never had finances like that, and be like, okay, now as an adult, and I think back, like, be appreciative. Because as a child, you really don't know.
Right.
But, like, man, it probably took you a few $100s to put that together, and we probably didn't really have the excess of those funds.
Right.
And then translating that now to our day and age, and, like, scrapping Pinterest, guys. When it was Liam's birthday, I was like, oh, Pinterest at like 4 a.m, like, I need this, I need this, I need this. And it's a comparison thing, because I feel like, I will not lie, half of the stuff I did for his birthday was I wanted it for the pictures. Like, Liam, when you get older, you're gonna have epic pictures.
And I remember, like, to me, like, my dad coming home with a Carvel ice cream cake, and that was so, like, and it was the shape of Mickey, and that was, like, so, like, I don't even remember what I got that year. I just remember he got me a Mickey ice cream cake. So, like, looking back, like, probably I got what I wanted as a gift, but what was more important was that my dad went to, like, 10 Carvels to get his cake that I saw on TV, you know? So it was one of those things where I think, looking back, we do things for the pictures, and we do it for the memories, but maybe we put our things in the wrong things sometimes. And it's not out of ill intent, it's because we want to, like, we always say this in church, like, we want our roof to be their floor, or our ceiling to be their floor. So, like, we want to go above, but maybe it is more simple than what we actually think. You know, maybe it is, they just want quality time with us. Hi, we're moms, remember. And so,
sorry. No, that's something that I've learned. Like, I think growing up, like, I'm a child of 4 girls. So birthdays were always, like, just really low key, but, like, we had each other. So it was like a cake, you know, your present, and singing happy birthday, whatever, you know, you want for that meal. And then, like, you get to that point, like, as a kid, and I, like, look back on this and I feel so bad, but, like, I'm like, oh, but, like, it's not cool to do this party like this or whatever. But now as an adult, with my own child, like, the day of Jackson's birthday, like, it's just the 3 of us, and that is special to me, because it's like, it's us. Like, it started with us, and, like, we're just gonna be together. We have our little cake, and I just, like, this past birthday, his birthday was on a Friday, and I remember, like, coming home and, like, my mom, like, doing a little decoration, or, like, a little something, putting it together, and feeling like, oh, this was so cool. She took my parents took the time to do this, and so I wanted to do that for Jackson, and just, like, seeing his smile, literally just because of a banner and little streamers, like, I'm like, we could just do this. Who needs a party? Because he just stared at it, like, jaw open, like, so cool, and it was exciting for him. So I'm learning, like, the simplicity of things, like
it's the thrill of the surprise. And I think that's what matters, because like, even this last year, we took our kids to Disneyland California, and, like, I was so excited because we planned, like, for a long, we're Disney people, we have to go check out the other park, and we kept it, like, secret until, like, 2 days before. And it was the look on their faces that meant everything when like, they opened their ticket, you know, and they were like, we're like going here. Like they don't know what it costs. They just know like my parents made this amazing thing possible, and it really was just the 5 of us. Like that was it. It was just us on a plane, and we experienced this thing together. We like stepped away from a lot of things, and I think that's what they're gonna remember. They're not gonna remember like the other things. They're gonna remember like my parents took us to Disneyland, and we had the best time ever. Just all of us and my baby brother, you know? So I think your priorities change. But I will say, like, even now, like, birthdays, what they mean for me as an adult is just celebrating life. And, like, non-conventionally. Because I think also, like, it's a little bit, like, taboo, right? You know, like, now we say, like, 40's the new 30. And, like, 30's, like, you know? Like, celebrate your life. Like, you know, my birthday's coming up, like, not coming up right away, but, like, it's in a month or so. But, like, before I used to not care so much, but now I care because I'm like, it's my day. Like it's like it's the one day that I have, that I was birthed, that I can do, even if it's just the most simplest of things. But I'm going to like not look at it in a negative way. I'm gonna live my best life, even if it's for one day, and not be like a Debbie Downer and be like, oh, I'm 32 this year. Like, oh, you know, like.
Do you take off on your birthday?
Oh, that's really sad, you guys.
Is that a deep one?
So okay, and adding into that, I know we don't have a lot of time, but as adults, okay, we talked everything about our kids and celebrating their birthdays. Do you find that it's awkward or hard to embrace like fully celebrating yourself? Or like has that been a learned behavior, like I'm going to celebrate myself whether people think it's weird or not or whatever?
Totally learned, because I'm an awkward receiver of gifts. My joy is to give gifts. It is not to receive gifts. Not to say I don't like gifts. I do, but I don't think I have the right personality. Like thanks, awkward, like, you know, but I am super thankful, you know. So I will say, because of the line of work that I used to do, my birthday falls very close to fall, Halloween. So we've always had like a fall theme on my birthday. So I've worked like for the last 5 years on my birthday. And honestly, like, some people knew it was my birthday, some people didn't know it was my birthday, but it was just great to be around other people. So, like, I think I never bothered me to take off or not. Well, I couldn't really take off.
You didn't have a choice.
I didn't really have a choice. But the people who knew me and loved me always found ways to make it feel special. Whether it was like the day, like Sherilyn and like Pastor Heather, they would always decorate my office. And that was like super great to like walk in and like see like my office. Being romance, because it was themed Halloween and we were church, so like it was funny to like see that oxymoron, but it was like you took time to do something for me because you knew what was coming on my actual birthday. So yeah, it's a learned behavior of accepting people to celebrate you, or even saying like, hey guys, come over to my house, I want to do like something, you know. And also that expectation of like, I just want you to come and be with me. Like, it's not about a gift, it's not about all of that, I just want to have fun with my friends.
I think for me, it is awkward when like someone gets you a gift and they like look at you and you have to like open it. You're like, oh my gosh, it's like so awkward. Like, I don't know why it's exciting, but awkward. But I am the same way. Like, for me, because I'm a teacher, so I love, like, kids love celebrating other people's birthdays. And as an elementary school teacher, that is the coolest thing when you walk in and like that student's like, it's your birthday. And then the whole class is like, happy birthday. So it's like, I never took off on my birthdays because I knew like my kids would be like, I have my family
for you.
Right. And that's like the cutest thing. Like, your kids like so excited for you. And it's not even their birthday, but they're just happy. So for me, and then like being, like you said, being surrounded by people who care about you and they're like, hey, happy birthday, or like going out of their way to say that to you, that's a big deal because I feel special. I just remember being a kid, like, you know, in church, they would like make you stand up and sing happy birthday.
That's very true.
So it's like, oh, awkward, but at the same time, like, hey, it's my birthday. So for me, I don't think it's hard to celebrate. I'm learning like better ways to celebrate myself in like, yes, it is my birthday, let me own that and be like, okay, people,
I'm doing this for me.
Right.
And I think that's what's the difference. Like, even so, like, my husband used to be like, what do you want for like your birthday? Oh, anything you want. But now I'm a little more bolder. I'm like, what's your budget?
Right.
Like, what, because you're going to give me something. You're my husband, right? So might as well give me what I want. So tell me what's your budget. So like before I was very like, but now I'm just like, okay, I want this, and this. It's in your budget, right? You can go here, here, and here.
Make it happen.
Right, because that's your husband. He's supposed to do that for you in some way or form, you know? So, yeah, like, I think you grow, like, as you get older, silly things, like, you let go, and then you embrace newer things, and then you do things for your kids that maybe weren't done for you, or you realize that things can be different, or embrace other things. But I know that this is a fun one. I feel like this is a fun episode. It was a lot. No traumas here. And stuff, but I think we're coming to a close of this episode. We went a little bit over, but hey, we're here to have fun. I feel like Shane's warming up for the closing. You guys, we had a lot of things. We had kids in this episode.
This was the most interesting episode of my life.
Meltdowns and
I was trying not to bust out laughing.
like I'll be honest, I'm trying not to like reprimand my kid here. Like, you know we're filming, so sorry. But we have a giveaway.
Yes, so today, episode 8 is the final day to get connected to our fall basket giveaway. Like we mentioned before, the things that we love, our favorite fall treats, our favorite fall items are going to be in that, and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be great because I think around the board, fall is our favorite season.
Yeah.
It's safe to say. Kayla, when's your birthday?
Mine is in March.
Okay, so you're not a fall baby. Me
No,
and Fred
yeah,
are
I'm
fall
a
babies,
child
but
of
you
the
just love
pumpkin.
it. I think by default, because it's our birthday
Yeah.
season, we love it. But
And it's the beginning of Christmas. And
That's
who
why.
does? And who doesn't love
The
Christmas?
start of
all the holidays.
Yes.
Yes. So don't forget, get connected. Get connected with the newsletter. Do all the wonderful things. We're gonna have so much more information and awesome ways to connect coming up. But with that being said, we're gonna invite Papa Shane to come on up and do his thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Get a little
All
vocal.
right. Let the good. All right, you know. All right, so like, subscribe, comment, rate, share. 5 things. Like, subscribe, comment, rate, share. All right, y'all. That's it.
Oh, and also, so we do pre-record, but today we're actually celebrating someone's real birthday. Papa Trevor. So we have a birthday cake for him.
Happy
He
25th.
One of our chefs, audio techs,
Yes.
child wranglers.
Yes.
We celebrate you, sir.
So we have a yummy, yummy cake here, guys. So we're gonna enjoy this cake. They're gonna bring it out here.
Thank you, Papa Marlon.
All kids making an appearance. All right, guys, we love you. Have a great day.
Like and subscribe.
So-